Buongiorno! Welcome to Florence, Firenze in Italy. Florence had been on my bucket list for so long, and I am so excited to finally explore it with one of my best friends who is behind the camera, Lisa. You can easily get around Florence on foot, or you can take public transportation. It's €1.50 for being on public transportation for 90 minutes, so that's quite affordable. On this piazza you can see the beautiful Palazzo Vecchio. This is the Ponte Vecchio, the oldest bridge in Florence and the only one still standing after the World Wars. It is lined with jewelry shops, and I prefer visiting it by night because then all the shops are closed and it looks very medieval. If you want to see it from another perspective, you can take a boat or even go subboarding on the Arno River. These are the Boboli gardens, the gardens of the Palazzo Pizzi. There are also a couple of museums that are included in the entrance fee. Take into account that the gardens are very big and also quite steep, and it's hot. So if you can, bring some water or try to do it at a time when it's less hot. I am dying from the heat and just from thirst as well, but to be fair, the view is to die for. Look, what a picture-perfect Tuscan scene. This is the Palazzo Pitti. It was built in the 1400s for the Pitti family, and it was later sold to the Medici family. The Medici family loved art, so inside is a big collection of art with both works from Filippo Lippi and from Botticelli. We just left the Galleria dell'Accademia, where the huge statue of David is, that was made by Michelangelo. So you know what they say about big feet? We almost didn't make it because we got lost in the Boboli gardens and we couldn't find the exit, so we ran quite late. And nowadays you have a time slot for your reservation that you have to keep to, and we were afraid that we weren't going to make it, but we did, luckily. It's important nowadays that you do make your reservation in advance, if you can a couple days in advance. We had to call someone to make the reservations both for the David Museum and also the Uffizi, because we couldn't do the payment online, so make sure you do it a lot in advance. Keep in mind that the museums are closed on Monday. Florence has played a big part in the history of art. It was the birthplace of the Renaissance, and a lot of the works you can find in the Galleria degli Uffizi. This museum houses paintings from Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, Raffaello, Caravaggio, and the most famous ones of Botticelli, my favorite. As you can see, there is also a lot of modern art going on in the city. You can buy modern paintings anywhere in the street. You can even come across a painting workshop like we did this morning. And it's lots of fun if you are into art and into painting. We visited the Duomo, the big famous Basilica, which is completely free. We waited in line for half an hour. You can visit the inside or pay to see the view from the top. This is the Basilica di Santa Cruz in Firenze. It houses the tombs of Dante and Michelangelo and is the biggest Franciscan church in Italy. You can visit it every single day and it only costs €8, so it's a good stop to do if you've already seen the other highlights. This is the Basilica Santa Maria Novella on this beautiful piazza. This is Piazza Santo Spirito. In the morning there is a street market going on, and in the evening the locals come to the bars and the restaurants to have an aperitivo or a meal. Aside from the obvious gelato, pasta and pizza, I recommend to try the Negroni, which is a typical cocktail from Florence, and also the bistecca alla Florentina. It's easy to find breakfast options all over the city. They are not that great, but it's Italy, so you will enjoy the lunch and the dinner more. For lunch, I recommend you to try a sandwich like we ate this afternoon. It only costs €6 and it is filled to the brim with charcuterie, some kind of meat, and also truffle cream, arugula, cheese, anything you want, and it's so delicious. Also, the paninis are great, and if you're up for it, you can even do a cooking workshop where you make your favorite type of pasta, homemade, freshly made, and you can even take the recipe home. This is the Abbazia di San Miniato Almonte, a beautiful basilica. I would say it's even more beautiful on the inside than the big basilica. We had to conquer a lot of steps. We are sweating so much, but it's worth it because look at this view. So we just came from the Basilica and now we are on Piazzale Michelangelo. It is the place to be to have the best view over the city without even paying to go up the Duomo. At this beautiful lookout point, we had an April Spritz, a Prosecco. We were there for 3 hours. They didn't kick us out. People there are so friendly and we watched the sun go down. It was magical. Then as we went down, we could hear live music playing, so we followed the music and we got to this amazing restaurant that was by the water. We could see that there were a lot of locals and there we had an amazing dinner. We really enjoyed it. To learn all about the Medici family and the history of the city, it is good to start your trip with a walking tour. We checked out the ones on Guru Walks and we loved the one from Sylvia. Florence is the home of Gucci and there is a whole street full of luxury brands that you can shop. And not only luxury brands, but also the high street like H&M, Zara, a lot of shops. Italy is also known for tailor-made suits and shoes and anything leather, so there is plenty to shop around for. You can visit the Leonardo da Vinci or Galileo Galilei museum as well. There is a lot of entertainment on the streets, for example, live music or live theater. We stayed at Camirosa Harmony Hotel, that is a little outside of the city center, but it was great, run by amazing Italian people, a great bed and shower. By now, as you can see, I am home. And I wanted to give you my conclusion about the city. One thing that I would like to add is to look at the signs in the streets, because there is some artists that puts stickers on the signs because graffiti was illegal but the stickers weren't. And it's nice to just look around the city and search for them. I would say 3 days for Florence is the minimum. If you have more than 3 days, I would recommend you to do some day trips. For example, go on a wine tour across Tuscany, go to the Leaning Tower of Pisa, or go to the nearby town of Fiesole, which you can easily reach by bus. Florence was super clean. The streets were spotless, also in restaurants, etc. They used different bins to recycle. There was also very little traffic, and there's also not that much Wi-Fi around the city, so that's something to take into account. And now they also work with reservations for the museums, so we didn't wait in line too long for anything. Everyone we got into contact with in a restaurant or a museum or whatever was super kind to us. They really seemed to love their job, and that also made the experience even more fun for us. We paid about 100 euros a day for the hotel, the activities and food and drinks. So I would say that's quite okay actually. That's excluding the flight, so it kind of depends where you come from. If you want to know more details about the prices, about everything I mentioned, I will put a lot of it down in the description, and I will also put a link to the article that is on my website once I have written it, which won't be super soon because I'm leaving on another trip tomorrow, but I'll try to do that as soon as possible. I hope you like this video. It's something else because it was the first one on location. Let me know if you prefer the vlogging kind of video or the static, just informative kind of video. I really want to know what you guys like so I can adapt accordingly. I also already made a video about Rome and Venice. If you're planning your trip through Italy, that might be interesting as well. And make sure that you subscribe and you hit the bell notification so that you don't miss any of my next videos. I have a very big trip coming up. I booked a flight for August 20th and I won't be back until November 8th. If you can guess the destination, try and guess in the comments. And I will be obviously vlogging it and taking you guys along on the journey. And I am so excited and I can't believe it, and I won't believe it until the moment I step on the plane. So I hope to see you in the next video about the Peloponnese in Greece, my favorite place
in Europe. I won't say in the world because there's a lot of the world I haven't seen yet, but in Europe. See you then. Bye.